Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
So here we go then, ELO Hell versus Moscow 5, game number 2. And we are going to get into this one. ELO Hell, for me, are probably going to be playing a little bit more safe at the start of this one. They know they can't really afford to let Moscow 5 get off to that good start and really snowball like we saw in game number 1. 21-1 if my memory doesn't totally fail me. I know it was definitely only 1 kill for ELO Hell, and that's maybe the most important part of it. You can see the setup at the early stage for them is more of that line defense. They've got Jax and Udyr up at the top side. The bottom lane was watching onto the bottom side of the jungle. Kassadin just having a look around mid. And ironically, Moscow 5 going for a pretty similar setup there.
I'm kind of surprised to see a lack of invade, because ELO Hell has a decent team for it. You have a Taric stun, you have a Udyr stun as well to back it up. You have a silence coming out of Kassadin, and not to mention a counter strike coming out of Jax can really keep someone stalled.
And there's Diamond finishing off his race. First stop for him. Actually, Moscow 5 are going to be switching off this lane now. Those golems going to be taken away by Genja.
I feel like I called that one, Joe.
Huh?
I feel like I called that one.
You probably did, but luckily for you, I can't actually hear you in my headphones, so that's always a good sign. But this blue buff is right now being done by Yorick, but it is going to get handed over. Let's have a look onto Shushi. I'm pretty sure he came in there for the pickup on that one.
And I'm loving the standard thing we're seeing where Yorick actually goes bot lane, but he takes the blue buff as well to really help with that early game. He's going to back out, pick up some more health pods, heal up, and then go into that lane. And the real goal of this little switch is just to push that lane down as fast as possible and deny the solo carry as much XP and farm as possible.
Well, we are seeing Shyvana coming down now onto Shushi in the middle, but the damage, quite frankly, is not going to be there at this level. I would say Alex couldn't really push in too far for that one. Shushi had used his Ignite already onto Gragas just to put down as much damage as he possibly can as a harassment at this stage. Now we are seeing at level 2, Moscow 5 getting ready for a gang on this top lane. Kikis on Jax is the one waiting there. Is Shyvana going to come in? This lane is being pushed fairly quickly. Will they realize that something's up with this one? Gosu Pepper will land his E. A little bit of extra damage to start things off. Shyvana is still waiting. That phosphorus bomb still giving vision there of Kikis as they start to move in, and they are going to be going down for Kikis. Here comes the stun on towards Genja and Diamond. He'll leap strike halfway away.
Perfect.
Manages to flash over the wall. They're on top of him, and now Udyr is here. Gosu Pepper is going to fall, and the first blood goes over to ELO Hell. A fantastic bit of micro play there by Kikis. I can't quite believe that he got out of that one. The leap strike to this right-hand position. Then he jumps himself over the wall with a flash. Gosu Pepper in typical hero fashion decides, I'm going to go and finish off this kill. And there is Udyr ready to bring the first blood over towards ELO Hell. And look at that counter jungling straight away. The Udyr going in, smiting out that big Wraith.
And check out this top, we see Kikis actually just jumped on Genja a little bit. And the thing about that last fight is that Diamond spent a lot of time in that top lane sitting in that tri-push, so he actually let his jungle stay up for a little bit. He actually fell behind in levels. And Kikis, I mean, what can I say? That was so perfectly well played. Veggie, perfect time to come up there. In mid lane, we see Shushi actually going head-to-head against Alex as he's ignited, and he just gets taken out by those auto attacks out of Alex as he just walks by.
Yeah, that was a real close one. Obviously, these two players, top level, top experience, in fact, right now as well. They know exactly what's going to be happening at what time. That Shushi barrel was ready to come out. And now we can see that Veggie on this bottom lane is going to be ready to push in on towards the Yorick. There's the stun coming out from Graves. They're right on top of Darian as he gets exhausted as well. There is the buckshot, and the finisher is going to come out, and it happens to be handed over to Graves. The AD carry getting a nice little start on this bottom lane. So that will put ELO Hell back in the lead in kills. They've already got double the amount of kills in this game that they had in the last game, so I suppose we could say a very good start for them.
Yeah, we're seeing a much different ELO Hell, and I'm glad, to be honest. I mean, I would hate to see a team where you let that first game really ruin your motivation and your mood over the rest. And I guess they're just more comfortable playing this kind of composition. As Veggie was saying, it was kind of a new kind of thing they were doing game 1, and I guess they just want to settle something where it's a little more comfortable and see what they can do in a game 2, see if they can push into a game 3.
Nunu actually headed down
Yeah, we're seeing actually a lane switch again. We're seeing Darren actually head to top lane since he did get killed at bottom. Kikisu did pick up an assist, I believe, for that first blood, able to kind of go head-to-head against him. And I'm pretty sure Jack should be able to take Darien quite easily once he does go back and buy a little bit. He was denied quite a bit of CS just for the fact it was a 1v2 lane, but he should be able to keep up with Darien.
Let's have a look at this early CS now. Graves 36 to Corky's 41. Obviously they weren't in the same lane at the start, but shows you everything about that. And look at Udia, there's an early Oracle there for ELO Hell. So they're going to be looking for complete map control at this early stage of the game, and being 2-1 up, first blood headed over onto ELO Hell as well. That will make things that little bit easier when it comes to the cash. He's got the Philo Stone as well already built up to help out with things, and he's going to pop that Oracle as we get into it, and he will start clearing out all the vision that Moscow 5 have built himself if he doesn't just walk completely in a circle around the first ward that he happened to get to. So they know his position now, they are, and they know that he's going to be moving up as the fallback pings coming down into this bottom lane as well. That's a lot of pings going down. Obviously someone a little bit alarmed with something in that bottom lane, but not quite so sure what it was. Probably the ward there. Oh, there is the Jax. If I can open my eyes long enough to see that he is inside of that bush. They must have seen that happen. There goes the ward out. And ELO Hell shouldn't be getting too far out.
Yeah,
without Moscow 5 seeing him. Yeah, Gosu Pepper is the one that really has to be careful now. He's really kind of on the border into range where they're going to step out and go for him. Here we go, Counter-Strike is running. Tariq Stun goes down as well. Gosu Pepper will be jumped onto, and there is the kill for Vanda. They pushed in, perfectly executed by ELO Hell, and they take a bit more of a lead. 3-1. It's 500 gold up till this point. You can see that Darien, while that's all been going on, has decided to push this top lane out completely. Will use his goals to slow the minion wave down as well. Now Veggie coming into this top lane, who is actually only a bit behind on experience compared to Darien, so he can safely defend this top lane. Won't have any major problems with that one.
Yeah, I gotta touch back on that Oracle though. I mean, even though he did miss that first ward in the bush, last game we saw so many wards coming out of M5, and we saw barely coming out of ELO Hell, so we don't really need to see one coming out of Diamond. He's kind of thinking, hey, I'm not going to waste the money on it. But now that he sees that Adir does have one, he kind of has to pick one up as well just to get that map control back. If the other team's going to deny your map vision, you have to do the same thing back at them to keep it kind of even.
And this middle lane now, of course, Riftwalk is up for Shushi. And that's going to be causing a few problems, I feel, for Malixic in that middle lane. And there is Vanda in the bottom picking himself up. Another kill, and that will put Graves to 3-0, and this is the real danger now. In this bottom lane, Graves is starting to get so fed. His CS is actually a little bit behind up till this point. He'll catch that up in the near future, but the critical point is he's got plenty of gold now. He's going to go home and convert that cash into power for the game. He's got double Doran's Blade already, as we see Shushi again, Riff walking over the wall onto Alexic, who has got double Doran's Ring, so nice bit of a health boost from that one, along with the mana regen as well, that it will bring for Gragas in the middle lane. But you have to give the credit for ELO Hell after being dominated in match number 1, and here it is going to be a replay. Gosu Pepper will end up getting picked off there at the end. So we missed it the first time around, but you got to see it the second time. So all is good.
Yeah, that was actually really well played. I'm amazed at how well ELO Hell's doing. That Graves is so federated, 3-0, doing extremely well, and he's only going to get stronger throughout the rest of the game. And as he is, looks like they're heading up here to top lane right now and kind of switch the lanes back up again. And Shushe he's doing pretty well in CS. He is 0-1. He's at least keeping up with Alexic a little bit, but Alex does have that one Doran's Ring ahead of him, which might turn out to be completely in his favor, and actually might be a turning point because we saw how close that first fight was.
And here we go, gank coming in onto Alexic in middle. There's the flash, and we talk about the disengage. The barrel comes out from him. That will knock the two ELO Hell players attacking him in middle completely out of range. And they decide, we don't need to go for any more from that one. Actually, Alex still has his flash available as well, so we'll see if he utilizes that later to try and get back in. Shushi's flash is up at the same time. Shivano is actually hanging around the Wraith just to the top side of Alexic. Well, the question is, can you really lock down a Kassadin who's got both flash and his Riftwalk available? Probably not. Especially with the Shivano who can't really stun, has no sort of way to hold him down. And one thing I'd like to check out though is it is 4-1 in favor of ELO Hell, but look at the gold. M5 is doing so well in farming that they're actually not losing that bad, to be honest. So we do see a little bit of action go down bot lane.
Kiki's just taking some of her ass, and he's just, just sitting there doing his job. Just soak up that experience, just hold your tower, let your top lane push out and get that tower, and then you kind of switch it back up where you go top lane, just solo farm, and get back in the game later.
Darien has just teleported himself back in onto this top lane, doesn't want to be missing any time up there. And we can see pickaxe picked up now by Graves, obviously added to that double Doran's Blade, Vamp Scepter, and the Berserker Greaves. And he's still, despite being 3 kills down, behind Corki by a good 10 CS. Obviously the gold that he's got from the kills are going to really help him out on that front. But still, the farm is with Moscow 5. If we look at Gragas 75 to the 69 of Kassadin, got the advantage there of Moscow 5. Then we've got also the Yorick 75 to the 40 of Jack. So when you compare, these lanes, even though they are kind of switched around, but if you compare them to their opposite number, so to speak, it's looking very, very good for Moscow 5. As we actually see the move in there onto Gosu Pepper, who flashes away to stay safe. He's 0-3-0, so not worth as much money as ELO Hell would really want him to be right now. Well, they've done a good job of constantly camping him throughout this game.
Yeah, I got to touch back when you're talking about Jax and Yorick. And the thing is, what does a Yorick do in a team fight versus Jax? Jax needs that damage, needs that survivability to be able to do anything. But Yorick, you put your ult down on your AD carry, and you pretty much did your job. He doesn't really need that farm, need those kills to really do his job. And it's really going to come down to these team fights. He needs something. He needs some sort of damage. He really needs to start, taking his own double golems, doing anything he can to get some kills, even some assists, maybe even going around just to get back in the game, because to be honest, he's really just shut out.
Diamond as well does now finally have the Oracle on him, so we'll be able to clear out some of that vision that Udi has been doing such a great job of clearing himself up until this point. Obviously, it was a very early Oracle from Udi in this one. Well, you just feel that Moscow 5, they're that kind of team that they're always in this game. As long as they don't go too far behind. I mean, it's 800 gold. Yeah, they're behind, but they set up for a nice dragon here and we're back level, It's not that big of a deal. And actually, we are seeing now Yorick coming down. Gragas will come in as well. Nunu coming from the side. Corki actually getting sealed off from this dragon area, but looks like Moscow 5 don't really care about that one too much, and they are going to start dragon off. We are seeing the burnout going. Graves is actually pushing the top lane, so ELO Hell may take down a turret here. This dragon is going to go very low, will be picked off, but as you can see, Graves saying, well, you take dragon, and we're going to try and push our advantage elsewhere, which happens to be in this top lane for Vanda.
Yeah, actually, Joe, let's take a look at items a little bit, because we see Alex Edge actually building towards that Abyssal Scepter to help out against that Kassadin, who is building towards his DFG, so he's going to try to burst someone down. We see also a Ruby Crystal coming out of Corki here, obviously going for a Phage, building into that Triforce. And we still don't see a GP10 on Tarek or Nunu right now. I mean, that's a lot of wards I think we're missing out on. However, with these double Oracles out, they can't really afford, they can't afford to, but without GP10, they can't really afford to ward.
Yeah, those wards going to be cleared too quickly, really, for them to keep up with that one. Here we see Kikis being pressured by Genja and Gosu Pepper, and actually both of them were fairly high in terms of health, but I think a little bit more scared that Udyr was around the corner, or that bottom lane was coming back towards the bottom, which it is doing now. And we may finally see a 2v2 lane in this bottom lane, which obviously goes back to what you would consider the normal meta, I suppose. Which has been changed somewhat.
And take a look at Jackson York, though. Look at the difference in farm. We're seeing a good 40 CS difference, which, not to mention, if York does his job by ulting his AD carry, not to mention now he has all this farm to really do something with. He does have his tier, obviously build into a Manamune a little later. He does have that health crystal, maybe going into a Phage for Triforce, or maybe just going for another GP10. I guess we'll find out in a little bit.
Well, down at bottom, stun coming out from Grom there onto the Corki and just saying, well, you're not going to put too much damage out onto me. I just want to come back safe. I've put my ward in position. Leave me alone from this point on. And Udyr actually even came down as well there a little bit towards that Tribush. Decided not to push further. And considering we've got 2 Oracles on the map, we've actually got quite a lot of wards going down in the bottom side of the river. You can see blue-red is the pattern that they're following. So they've been keeping out of each other's way in terms of that warding. Vanda actually pushing this bottom lane as well. Now the turret is not really that healthy, but he decides he doesn't really want to be pushing that too fast and will be quite content to have this farm. 132 to 144, so as we can see, Corki is still in the lead on that front.
Yeah, and ELO Hell's trying to be really aggressive. Looks like they're trying to group up, taking these outer turrets down and then start team fighting. However, I don't think they really have the gold advantage to do it. I don't think they can really take someone out. Maybe when Castleton does get his DFG, if he ever does, I mean, he's kind of just hold on to that that pick for that extra GP10. I'm not really sure they can win a fight right now because M5's coordination in team fights is really top notch. And as Veggie was saying, ELO Hell, new team, still need to work on some of those things. And I would have to say they really need that advantage in terms of items to really win a fight.
There is Veggie working his way into this top lane. Darian is still hung fairly far forward as Jax decides to go in onto him. Early amounts of damage done, will take a turret hit, but here comes Veggie around the corner. Can Darian escape from this one? Actually, the damage that he's put down there onto Veggie is fairly extreme. Now Jax is going to have to flash away as well, and Darian is going to be chasing him down as Ghost form. Here comes Diamond around the side as well. There is the exhaust put down. Burnout is running. Jax will leap strike away, but Veggie is not escaping Diamond this time. Uses the dragon form to actually finish off the kill, which I think was maybe a bit extreme from Diamond, but didn't want to lose tabs of that Uri and that kill, and that will bring us back to 5-2 and still only a 600 gold difference.
He did get a lot of style points though for that, I have to say.
It's always cooler if you kill mid-air.
Yeah, and we see Corki Genja sitting here with 2,300 gold right now. I mean, he has a lot of money to really back with. We see Graves sitting there with his BF sword, obviously building towards that IE to do some more damage.
We've actually got Sushi under a little bit of pressure and surely going to finish things off. Gosu Pepper will actually take the kill away from that one, which I'm not sure that Alex is going to be particularly happy with, but he's left now with a kill and an assist. Problem for Gosu Pepper is that he died 3 times and you start to lose your worth there. With that kill, he's actually got himself a little bit healthier in terms of, they're going to want to kill him more. Here we go, Jax jumping in onto Alex Ich as well in power use. Will he be able to finish off the kill though? Actually decides not to go for it. Body slam was up for Alex Ich and he will get himself back to the safety of that backside of his own jungle.
Yeah, and we're going to go into a replay of actually what we just saw. We see Shusha actually just trying to rift walk away. Alex Ich just kind of came back in the lane as they do ult him out and the ignite. I believe that was Gosu Pepper's ignite that overrode it and I believe took the kill. Yeah, he actually did. Yeah. So Gosu taking that kill with that ignite. Honestly, he's got to feel good though. I mean, it's really got to put him back in the game with some more GP10s and not to mention some more wards.
Mighty Moon is already built up as well on this Yorick, who, as I said, he's not had the best times, Darian, in terms of picking up kills and what have you, but he's 110 CS compared to the 85. See, that leaves him overall 300 gold healthier than the Jax. Sushi is now back in middle, and he does have the support and AD carry with him there as well. 3 men from Moscow 5 trying to stop any push onto this middle turret, but here comes Veggie taking 2 pretty much unnecessary turret hits from that one. And Moscow 5, the great thing here is that they've got that barrel to come out from Alex Ich. They've got the E from Gosu Pepper, which, whilst not being totally scary at this point, is still damage that will come your way. And that will force ELO Hell to rethink their plan and not go in. And we are back again. Look at the gold. It's bang even.
Yeah, and especially with the 2 kill difference. But then again, we see ELO Hell does have 2 towers to 1. And I believe actually we're going to go to a replay just to show that Yorick, in the meantime, when that was happening, did take a tower. He was just pushing that top lane with a group of minions, took it down just to help out with his team and get some more gold flowing.
Darian here, constant farm, 126 to 95 CS. That is a pretty huge lead for Darian, and action actually going to kick off here first. Looks like it will be around that dragon area, which has spawned around about 10 seconds ago. ELO Hell, they're actually stood right on top of Wardy, which Veggie finally will spot. Meanwhile, at the top, you can see there on the minimap that Yorick is pushing, and that may just force ELO Hell to back away and deal with that threat before they think about Dragon, which is still sat there. Kikis is going to have a look, and they will start this Dragon off. Diamond is there as well, does have Smite available, but then again, so does Veggie. Moscow 5 now going to try and come back into this one, as we do see the push around. Kassadin is going to be there as well, and it will be picked up by ELO Hell. There is the ultimate there from Gosu Pepper, and it was a full channel. That was a massive ultimate in terms of damage from him. Kikis is going to die. It's a double kill for Corki, who's going to Valkyrie over on towards Veggie. He will go into turtle stance, then into bear stance. Can he get away though from Genja? That's the question. With that turret up, he will be safe for now, and Moscow 5 will take a 3-for-1. Gosu Pepper dying again, but his ultimate was really big in that fight.
Yeah, not to mention Darren being very smart. He had that teleport available. He was able to push that top lane the entire time. which just made him able to put a lot of pressure as much as he could, as we do see here. ELO Hell trying to go for that dragon. Unfortunately, they just were not able to take this damage that was coming their way. Diamond kind of leading the attack here, as actually Kiki's jumping in with the teleport coming in, York coming from behind onto Kassadin, and that full channel coming out of Gosu Pepper, as we were just talking about. We actually did see an ultimate coming down onto Alex Ich out of Darien as well, but he kind of survived and really didn't have to, die. So good play by them. I mean, they were able to do that. They took Dragon, I believe. Is that correct?
One thing that, yeah, ELO Hell took Dragon. One thing that really surprised me from that is the fact that Graves, who was down 3-0 before the fight, was constantly hammering away on them. They didn't really look at him whatsoever. And obviously he picked up another kill from that and made himself down 4-0 as Genja is going to get burst. Not quite enough there, though, for Kassadin to finish off the kill. Obviously he's built up that Cage's lucky pick early, which we will be expecting to go up towards that death by a grasp. There's a blasting one plus the catalyst as well. And look at this from ELO Hell. 21 minutes in, they're going to start off with Baron Gosu Pepper, going to be caught completely out of position, and that's another kill on the board for Graves. He's now 5-0. The question is, can Moscow 5 reply to this threat? The Baron is being already taken down. It's now below half HP, and it's going very, very quickly, as we will see Darien start to work his way in there. Shyvana is there as well, but can they get in for the steal? No, they can't. ELO Hell are going to pick it up. The Dragon out from Shyvana, and another kill for Vander on Graves, 6-0. He is climbing in terms of stats, and with this Baron on, ELO Hell are really going to be dangerous for these next few minutes. Yeah, we're going to start seeing them push quite a few towers down, get that extra gold, because they are still leading right now, and they definitely do have enough items to do this. I mean, we see Kassadin doesn't even have his RO8 yet, or his DFG, but he's still able to put out this much damage. We see Graves does have that IE, and definitely will be building towards that Phantom Dancer most likely right when he's able to back. And Udyr building that, I mean, kind of support jungler as we're seeing. He has that Aegis. He has, well, most likely going for a Shurelys as well to help out. And it's definitely going to work. They're playing so much better this game than they did last game. Getting that Baron, getting that Dragon, as we did see earlier. They did lose that Oracle, however. We did see a kill go down between Yorick and to Udyr. Actually, we'll show you right here. He was able to dive him on that tower, especially with a group of minions. Udyr actually overstaying his welcome. Corki coming in from the side to help get him down. And that Oracle definitely does affect him with that map control. However, as we just saw, they were able to take Baron and get back in this game. And that Baron gone, ELO Hell. If we go back to live, we can take a look at the gold and how it sits right now. And that will be 33 to 31.4, so a solid 2,000 gold lead for ELO Hell. You know, that Baron was more of an opportune Baron, to be quite honest with you. They got in there, picked that one up. Will they be able to do as much damage as maybe if they were a bit more leveled than later on? I'm not quite so sure, but here we can actually see Genja is going to maybe get caught out by Xushi. He's going to stand and fight with him, which he's not going to win that one. I mean, his damage is fairly decent, but in the end, Xushi just stronger than him in that 1 versus 1 fight. Look at the gold here as well between these two teams, between those two AP carries. Actually, forget that. We've got Yorick versus Graves in this bottom lane, and Graves has put out the ultimate. There is the quick draw finisher from Vander. I'm not sure why that Yorick thinks he can take on a 7-0 Graves with Infinity Edge and Phantom Dancer at this point, but it's feeling like it's slipping from Moscow 5, and ELO Hell, they may just come back in this game and force us through into a third and final.
Still can't count M5 out, though. I mean, once they have their core items, we're seeing Alex Ich almost has his DFG. Actually, as we're saying that, his DFG does get finished, and he's obviously going to be trying to bursting someone down. Graves kind of needs to build maybe like a GA, maybe go a little M5 style, just to get that extra survivability, because he doesn't want to be bursting down, since he, like you're saying, 7-0 is the main source of damage that is coming out of ELO Hell.
Yeah, and he's finally overtaken Corki in CS as well. That was lasted quite a long time. Veggie is going to be taking a big chunk of damage away from this turret as well, and we see Diamond have to drag him back over towards the base to stay safe from that two-man gank. But here come the rest of ELO Hell. The minions have been pushed out as well. Xushi actually waiting on the corner to make that jump over the top. There is the ultimate coming out from Alex Ich. It's not going to result in too big of a fight, though. And as I say that, Kikis will actually jump in with Counter-Strike running. They've knocked him away. Decent damage, but Moscow 5 just can't keep up. His Graves on the turret. He can't really afford to be dying at this point. And especially to someone like Corki, who will say thank you very much for that reward. But yeah, Moscow 5 play it Wow, and that's at the end. Down ELO Hell playing their aggressive style. There was the body slam moving over and then back from Alex Ich, and they just can't really afford to fight, especially with that Baron buff running.
Not to mention that during that last little skirmish, Shushay playing so well, he actually silenced Alex Ich before he could barrel the rest of ELO Hell into their own turret. So he actually prevented their team from being just demolished. As we do see them taking out this top tower, and they have 6 towers to M5's 3. ELO Hell is doing a great job right now. Roaming around is 5. I really want to see that. I want to see game 3. I really do, Joe.
Well, that's what we hope for here. But the kills really are concentrated.
Yeah,
From 11 kills, they're all on Graves, which means if they take these Graves out of the fight, do they have enough damage? I mean, with that Deathfire Grasp on there as well, that means that you can burst someone down really quick as this Gragas. With the Body Slam ulti DFG combo, Graves is pretty much dead from that one. So the question is, can they protect Graves well enough in these team fights in the near future, which I'm sure Moscow 5 don't want to be taking directly. They'll probably be thinking more about that next Baron time, to be honest with you, as Dragon will respawn, and they are going to try and pick this one up. And I don't really see ELO Hell coming back to stop this Dragon going down. No, it won't. It will be finished off, and that will bring us back to a 4,000 gold difference. Exactly 4,000 gold as well. ELO Hell now with that extra cash that they've got, we've now got a Trinity Force on the Jax, although now Kiki's not particularly fed up. He's caught up nicely on the CS now, back to 30. There is the Sheen being picked up by Yorick, but I feel this Jax is only getting stronger at this point, the longer that we go into this game, especially now that Trinity Force is finished, as the Shirelli has now been bought on Taric as well. Does have those boots of mobility, so can move quickly around to get that stun off onto the man that they want to be picking out, which could well be Gragas at this point. Obviously Corki a prime target as well at this stage of the game, but next Baron coming up at 32-20. That's the time that we should probably be looking at in terms of the next fight from Moscow 5.
Yeah, in the meantime, we saw Graves actually picked up a last Whisper, and to be honest, Joe, I'm not really sure it's a good item.
38, sorry, I looked at Dragon.
I'm not really enjoying that item. I mean, as we were talking about in the term we coined earlier, burstable, he's very burstable. He needs kind of a GA to survive, and that last Whisper, I mean, look at M5. They don't even have that much armor yet. They have an Aegis, to help out with some armor. Corki's the only one with the GA right now who can really have the last Whisper used against him. But, I mean, that's it. Why not build a little more tanky? Maybe even get like a Bloodthirster first, just to have that extra survivability.
Well, if he's protected well enough, that's something that will, dominate a fight. If that Graves can have the time to hammer away from the backside with that combo of Phantom Dance, the Last Whisper, and Infinity Edge. They've got the stuns in their team as well of ELO Hell to really get rid of that. And now Moscow 5 know, this Baron is going to be coming up here fairly shortly. Only around 30 seconds from now, so they need to get that vision down. Shyvana's just gone topside and actually got a ward down there, and she needs to get the hell away from that one before being spotted by ELO Hell. They are now waiting here inside of the brush. Pings going down from ELO Hell, and I'm pretty sure as soon as this Graves backs off, Moscow 5 will probably follow them out. Actually, they're not even really bothering. They're hanging back on the base, moving towards that middle lane. And what are Moscow 5 up to at this point?
They can't really afford to base check a bush and end up dying, because then there goes your Baron, and there goes most likely an inhibitor, turret, and an inhibitor. So they're kind of playing really safe here. Maybe we'll see them catch off guard.
Oh, Corki is not there either. This is bad news for Moscow 5. Finally, we are going to see the ultimate come down. Is it going to be enough, though? There's the ultimate back. Grom will be focused down first. Is Graves still alive? Graves is still alive and full HP, but they are going to dive straight on top of him. There's the body slam. There is the dead Graves, and they could well finish off Kassadin, although I don't think they really need to at this point. They can back away a 4-for-1 fight. They've lost Arian. There is Alex Ich once again. Rift walk away from Shushay. He's just toying with them right now, trying to delay this Baron as much as he possibly can. And that last fight, it looked like it could have gone well for ELO Hell. The thing is, Nunu ultimate went down, and that allowed just enough time for Corki to get around and do that extra damage. Again, they didn't really focus Graves early on. They wanted to take his protection away from that fight, and now Moscow 5 are doing Baron number 2 of this game. Kassadin is being chased around in the main base by Alex at this point. The question is, can they finish things off? It's not exactly easy to chase a Kassadin down, that's for sure. As he will body slam through the wall, and there's the Rift walk away again.
Yeah, as you're
it's
saying,
like the never-ending story.
Yeah.
Body slam,
fight.
DFG, Rift walk.
But Shushe's out of mana, though. I don't know if Shushe can really escape this. We don't see anyone coming for Shushe's help here as he does body slam again. And the ultimate.
Oh.
Actually, that might have helped him out more than Alex actually wanted, because he is able to escape now.
Yeah, you saw Shushe actually waiting for his last one there. He was probably figuring out that ultimate barrel was coming out at some point, and he timed it nicely. So credit to Shushe for escaping from that one. Double ward over onto blue buff, because one is never enough.
Never.
And they will spot Alex's position. So let's have a look at the gold. Still, it's ELO Hell who actually have the lead there. Now we are going to see maybe Genja initiating on this one. Kikis has already used that counter-strike, jumped over to his teammate for safety. But we are seeing Moscow 5 starting to push this middle lane. And you know, they are a team that, if they have a Baron, they know how to use it better than anyone else. So let's have a look at a replay from that last big fight here before the Baron. You can see that Corki on the minimap, not really with the team. He was in middle lane. They focused Darien. They went the ulti down. Veggie died very fast, and it was the Gragas barrel which really caused the big problems there for ELO Hell. They took Jax out of it, and by that point, you know, Graves is off to the side. Moscow 5 had survived pretty much all the damage that they could put down to him, and then Kassadin, you know, he can't challenge 1 versus 4 in and around that Baron area. Did get some damage back from Alex, but then we saw that little chase going on. So you can see the gold has now crept to only a 300 difference. Moscow 5 are going to start to work their way through the jungle and try and steal as much away as they can. Actually, blue buff is being done right now by this Kassadin, and Alex is waiting there as he body slams around the corner. Blue buff has not been done. They actually backed away from that one completely. And that will be picked up here by Moscow 5, by Gragas, in fact.
And Gray's finally working towards that GA. And one thing about Genja is when he has his GA and he plays Corki, he completely changes his style. He jumps in head first and actually tries to get them to focus him down, so that allows his team to do something. As we do see the Gragas ultimate coming down.
Ultimate came in there from Nunu as well. Veggie is going very, very low. Kikis will jump over to his teammate. There is the kill onto Kikis. Tariq, of course, is already out of this fight. Graves is still alive, though. He's used everything there. Ignite, Flash, and his ultimate all put down. But again, Moscow 5 just fighting through the damage. You know, Diamond at half HP, Gosu Pepper at half HP. Alex has lost a bit. That tells me, you know, where's the focus really coming in here from ELO Hell when they're all hanging around about half HP? Here we go, push coming back onto this inner upper turret. Veggie and Shushe are both there, but I'm not sure that they really want to be in this position. Exhaust does go down on towards Veggie, and there goes the push in as well. And wow, that is a quick move away, and Darien is the one in trouble now. They don't want to be giving any more kills over onto this. Graves will get slowed down. In the meantime, we have seen Udia go down, and Moscow 5 are pushing in, and the kill did happen for Graves, but Moscow 5 are pushing through, and for that are going to give themselves an inhibitor, and that will put them nicely again into the lead with gold. But the question is, will they stay and fight after that? No, they back away, and a wise choice indeed, if you ask me.
Yeah, very true. And I think we're actually going to go to a replay right now of actually what happened in top lane while you're looking at bot lane. And we see that
oh no, we've got a fight still going on for this one. Oh no, we're having a look at a replay. Who knows what's going on? Veggie did get picked off here with that final kill. And actually, Tariq popped his Shurelya's Reverie there. I'm not sure really why. Obviously wanted to get there a bit faster than really happened. And there was the inhibitor taken down. And as we can see, nothing happened. Good for us. So let's take a look at things and figure out exactly where we are in this game. 52,000 gold to 48,000 gold. Moscow 5 obviously with that last Baron taken down. Do they know the exact timing of it? Not really, but they've got an inclination as to, you know, when it happened. The Kassadin was around there once that was started off. In terms of kills, Gragas 3-1-10. They're kind of spread evenly. I mean, Corki is starting to pull away there at 5-1-7. Got that Trinity Force now. He has actually picked up a BF Sword and obviously the Guardian Angel. That Guardian Angel is also on Shyvana now at this point. On the other side, Graves is working up to it. He's 8-1-1. Infinity Edge, Phantom Dancer, and Last Whisper. Kassadin, Rod of Ages, DFG is going to be working himself up there as well. For Gragas, Abyssal Scepter, Rabadon's Death Cap, and that DFG. So for me, that's where the real scariness comes down, this Gragas.
Yeah, and they're actually starting to do the old N5 styles. We're seeing the carry starting to pick up all those GAs. We already had one on Corki, but now we're starting to see Alex pick up one. And we're seeing N5 on the push here. This is actually the first time in the game, I believe, that they've had the gold advantage. And we're gonna start seeing some fights happening. Definitely some more inhibitors going down. M5 playing really smart right now, sitting in the jungle, trying to clear any extra wards, deny any more vision they possibly can, because we do see Baron come up in about a minute 30.
Right now, Moscow 5 just jockeying for position there. ELO Hell trying to find a safe way into that jungle to really get that vision down. As you said, there is the Oracle on Shyvana. Moscow 5, by the looks of things, want to have a peek here and see exactly what is going on in terms of positioning for ELO Hell, and that's something that they can't really deal with, is this poke from Gragas. Once he gets a couple of decently positioned barrels in there, that means not a lot of health remaining on the ELO Hell side. Obviously they have like Yorick as well to constantly spam in towards the turret. Gosu Pepper actually taking a bit of a big burst there, and actually Cassidy uses Deathfire Grasp onto that Nunu, and that will make Moscow 5 feel that little bit safer now that's being used.
Yeah, not to mention having to back away right now. And the thing is, ELO Hell is not able to fight on their own terms. They're kind of being, having the fights taken to them. They're not able to really focus someone down. As you do see Genja just playing completely different, being super aggressive, trying to poke this tower down as much as possible. And he just really doesn't care about all those pokes since he does have that GA.
Oh,
they're actually engage.
Gonna move in there on towards Kikis, who does pull his counter-strike up. He's actually got a decent stun onto a couple of them. There's the Gosu Pepper ultimate, and he's gonna channel it fully out there. Veggie will drop as well. We do finally have that Guardian Angel on the Jax, who's it was popped in the last bit of the fight. Graves is gonna escape for now. Double kill actually coming out for Yorick, and that is going to be an inhibitor turret plus inhibitor number 2 for Moscow 5. They've already got those super minions streaming in the top lane as well. And the only thing that really stands between them and a victory right now is this Graves. But you can bet your bottom dollar that Vander is not really safe with Moscow 5 moving in. There's the first Nexus turret going down. Vander will get forced away once again by the ghouls. Moscow 5 are going to focus in, will take down the Nexus here in just a second. They've stopped kind of halfway to try and kill Graves, as we do see Tariq hammering on Diamond. But Moscow 5 will take game number 2 and will take this quarter-final series 2-0. A fantastic game number 2, the one which looked like ELO Hell could have the victory, and you know they were ahead for most of the game, at which point Graves was fed, but his protection weren't so fed, and the protection was gone, and Graves then followed very, very quickly afterwards.
Well, that's the difference in experience. I mean, M5 has been around for such a long time, and as Veggie was saying, ELO Hell's kind of new. They've only been around for a month. They had that early game advantage, but they couldn't keep that focus up the rest of the game, and they ended up losing because of that. M5 just,